Hey everyone, it's Isabella Grace McLean. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a word for you and it is social media addiction. I do understand that people's work can include or does include social media, and this video is not for that. This video is an unhealthy dependency and addiction to social media. Therefore, if social media or your phone or any electronic device is hindering your personal life, is hindering your mental health, then this video is for you. Do you wake up and the first thing you do is go on social media? We've all been there. I've done that. I've done it recently. It is pretty much a trap. From the moment that you wake up and you go on your phone to check the time or to press snooze on your alarm or stop, you might accidentally go on Twitter or TikTok just to start off your day with a few laughs or maybe check up on the latest news. So I know that we kind of use Twitter as a way to stay informed with the latest events, latest news regarding celebrities or maybe even people that we know. Sometimes you might have missed last night's drama and we go on Twitter to catch up on it. A second one is, do you feel anxious when you're not on socials? Do you feel like you have a fear of missing out, like you can't go a day without knowing what is happening on Twitter or what is happening on Instagram, or you can't go a day without knowing how your posts or tweets are doing, your engagement and stuff like that? Spending hours scrolling endlessly on social media, being unproductive, allowing that to hinder your tasks, your priorities, your responsibilities. Another one is neglecting your hobbies in favor of just scrolling endlessly. So that kind of ties into my previous point. But I feel like a lot of us don't really know who we are outside of social media. Do we know if we like knitting? Do we know if we like playing piano? Invest in yourself, whether that be reading books or learning a new skill, learning a new talent, learning a new recipe. There's so much more to life than the digital world. Another one is not being mentally present in conversation. What I mean by that is you can be physically present with your friends or with your boyfriend or with your family, but mentally you're not there because you're always on your phone. You're always scrolling through social media, and you're not really partaking in the conversation. You're not, it's simple respect actually to have your phone down at a table, or even when you're around people, like you have to be like present. I would have been told that I'm on my phone too much, and that leads on to my next pointer. If people are telling you that you're always on your phone, that is maybe like a sign that you actually might be addicted. If you're always on your phone around them and you basically can't engage in conversation, or you're not mentally there, then yeah, that's a sign. Because social media should not be hindering with your actual social life. That is the irony of social media. It makes you antisocial in real life. Sometimes we might depend on social media as a form of escapism. So when we're going through things and we have problems, instead of confronting them or instead of getting help, we kind of use social media as a way to kind of like bury our emotions, bury our feelings, or maybe even sometimes normalize them. Because I know a lot of content that normalizes like depression and suicide, and we make jokes out of it because it's like, even though it's not funny, it's like, why not laugh through your pain? So please do not forget about your personal problems. Do not use TikTok as an escapism. I know I've been there. I would spend my days literally going on TikTok so that I can have a laugh. And it works in the meantime and it works temporarily. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to end up depending on that very thing to keep on like being all right, if that makes sense. Another one as well is when you're in bed and your eyes are tired and your body is telling you that you're exhausted, but you're keeping your eyes open. In fact, your eyes are even stinging and you're still scrolling on TikTok. That is one of the signs where I realized, wow, I am addicted. I am actually very addicted to TikTok, to social media. There would be an advert on TikTok. I'm sure that those of you who are on TikTok know what I'm talking about. There's an advert on TikTok where it says, if your eyes are tired, basically just come off. And I would completely like scroll up because I'm just like, I ain't trying to hear that. I'm trying to have a laugh. I'm trying to know some life hacks, all of that kind of stuff. I think there's a word for that. I think it's called revenge bedtime procrastination. And basically what it is that it's refusing to go to sleep because you value the freedom of late night hours more than sleep. Another one is it's a way to gain control over your time and reclaim hours for yourself. It often affects busy parents, caregivers, overworked employees, and people with anxiety or poor time management skills. And it's your way of getting revenge for not having control of daytime hours. Another one is that you feel the need to post everything. That can also show as well that we do not have a healthy outlet, or we don't have healthy coping mechanisms. If you're basically oversharing to kind of gain sympathy from the public, for your own personal problems, this isn't targeted on showing awareness to certain situations. I'm talking about exposing exes, exposing friends, and all of that kind of stuff. I know we post these things sometimes to expose people that have done us wrong, but at the end of the day, I think the public that you're sharing this to aren't really sympathizing with you more time. They are actually entertained by the drama that you're bringing to the TL or bringing to social media. And best believe people do not forget stories. People do not forget drama. So please, 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 please find a healthy way of coping and find a healthy way of dealing with situations apart from bringing it onto social media. So those are some signs, but it's not limited to, that you might be addicted, or if you want to call it, too dependent on social media, or maybe have an unhealthy attachment to social media. This video is not about condemning people on spending too much time on social media. Neither is it about social media being completely wicked and you shouldn't go on it. No, this is talking about a healthy boundary and a healthy way in which you can incorporate social media into your life without it being your life. It didn't take me a day, it didn't take me a week. It took me months to kind of like train myself, and that's the key word, to train yourself. It's all to do with discipline. So one very obvious one is a digital detox. The way in which you can stop depending on something is for you to basically gradually cut it out. So I start off with a digital detox for a week. Some people might not want to start off with a week, they might want to start off with a day, but you want to gradually get there, and be kind to yourself as well. It's not going to be easy, it's all up to you, but digital detox, listen, delete your apps, even log out if you need to. Another one that really helped me as well is turning off your notifications. So there is this, I think there is a study that social media notifications are like rewarding social media stimuli, which basically every time you see that you get a like or a comment, it releases like dopamine in your brain. So it's kind of like a rewarding feeling when you see that your posts are getting likes and you're getting engagements. And that's one thing that I also wanted to tell you to watch out for. Don't become reliant on engagements to the point where you find your value in them, where you find that you're more wanted when you're on social media. And I think there was even a time where I was getting so many engagements on my videos that I genuinely felt like people needed me. People need to hear my encouragement, or else what's going to happen? And I became almost very responsible for these people. When you become dependent on these notifications for validation, you're gonna strive to do more of that. And so that's what I'm saying, just be careful and really check your motives, check your heart all the time. Are you actually firm in your identity, or can you easily be swayed by likes and comments and, you know, engagement from people on your socials? Are you still the same person when you're not getting likes, when you're not getting engagement? Another one is set boundaries. Like I said, going on social media is not a bad thing, but I think it will be easier if you kind of see social media as something that maybe you can go to after you finish your responsibilities. I'll do my work throughout the day. I'll get some tasks done. And then when I take my break, I know, okay, this is the time for me to go on social media. Now, where we get caught out is knowing when to stop scrolling, basically. When you start your break, you can also have an alarm or a reminder to get off as well. Or maybe even have accountability. It is that deep that we actually need people to basically ask us, oh, are you doing what you said that you would be doing? And I think it's so key to have accountability, because we cannot do this thing by ourselves sometimes. Another one is putting your phone in another room, being on DND, so do not disturb. Those things can also help as well. Those are practical steps. Out of sight, out of mind. You can choose who can basically give you a call. So like your parents or boyfriend, husband, your best friend, they can go through, but everything else like notifications and other people calling or texting you, that will be on DND. So I think that's a very good feature that Apple brought in. But it was really freeing when I knew that I had control over social media and it actually didn't have a control over me, because I'd use it as a means of just like having a laugh once in a while, whenever I finish doing what I need to do, and not as a means for me to basically find happiness or find healing through social media. It's even more dangerous when you go through TikTok and you have all sorts of people confusing you and giving you diagnoses on certain things that are just not accurate. Another one is find a hobby. So sometimes when you're addicted to something, or you're spending so much time on something, usually what needs to happen is you need to replace that with something else. And so sometimes it's not just enough to stop scrolling and set boundaries. No, why don't you replace it with something a bit more edifying, a bit more helpful in terms of investing in yourself? So for example, if I wanted to stop scrolling on my social media, I would find something to do that will excite me. So for example, I will learn a new recipe, I'll learn a new song on piano, or I might ask my husband if he wanted to go out and do something spontaneous. So it's about finding a hobby and staying occupied and committed to said hobbies or things, and setting your mind to it and wanting to achieve it. And then at that point it's like, oh wow, I haven't even been on social media today, you know. So for me, when I became married and I had more responsibilities, I realized that I wasn't spending as much time on social media as well, because I started to prioritize marriage. I started to prioritize keeping the home. I started to prioritize doing my 9 to 5 and cleaning and cooking and having fun in the now. That whenever like people would say to me, oh, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? I was like, no, like I haven't really been on socials that much. And it's okay if you don't know what's going on. It just means that you're enjoying the moment. And we can't forget that, you know, this life is fleeting. So please live in the now, invest in yourself, find out or discover who you are. What do you like? What are your hobbies? Figure out, you know, who's important to you, important relationships, and definitely give them your time and attention. And most importantly, figure out your purpose and values. When you know your purpose, when you know your values, you'll spend more time investing in that. There are things to do, and especially if you're a child of God, this is a massive distraction to a lot of us. A lot of our time is spent too much on social media when we should be doing kingdom work outside of it. Now, I get that social media can be a part of your ministry, but please watch how long you're spending on it, because that doesn't really glorify God. Spend time in reading the word, spend time in meditating, spend time in prayer, spend time fellowshipping with other people in real life, being present in the now. And social media has a massive effect on comparison and insecurity and low self-esteem. And it also does have an effect on your mental health. When we go on Twitter and we see the evil things that are going on in the world, like, protect and guard your heart. I promise you, it is that deep. I really do hope that has helped you guys. If you have any more questions, let me know down in the comments. But I really believe in you, and I'm trusting that you guys will continue to commit to the things that God has showed you, that the calling and the purpose and assignment. And I pray that this isn't a massive distraction. I'm honestly praying that a lot of us will be honestly delivered from this unhealthy dependency and addiction. It really did show us when Instagram and Twitter went down. No, not Twitter, Instagram and TikTok went down, and everybody was like, what do we do? But you don't want to wait until it's down for you to actually take real life seriously. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you in the next video.